Ooh.
Oh, you had like 5 different gross sounds.
Go.
Now, this is exciting, and I use exciting in the pejorative sense because it's actually incredibly mundane. And I use pejorative wrong as well, too. But neither of us have played Bomberman 64, so we're kind of exploring this world for the... Oh, they got this very tasteful fortune cookie head guy, or a croissant. Does he have a hookah, too? Or is it a... Oh, it's a pipe. Or it's a flute.
I think it's a flute, but it also very much looks like a hookah.
I wonder if we gotta find... Because he did snakes, right?
Yeah. And I did not read any of what he just said, so...
Yeah.
That's my bad.
He's canceled.
I was thinking about this while we were getting ready for this one.
Yeah.
If I ever run for office ever... Like, say, for some god-awful reason, somebody thinks I should be president...
You've stated, like, unironically multiple times that you do want to run for
I
office.
do, but like, right now I'm thinking, like, city comptroller or something. It's, like, a position where it wouldn't behoove somebody to investigate every single one of these episodes. If I were to run for, like, a serious office, like, national level position, I would literally hire somebody just to listen to every single one of these episodes. And if I say anything... Because... I mean, we started recording these 3 years ago.
I'm worried about your Facebook posts from, like, age 10 to 14.
Oh, I've been deleting those ad infinitum.
See, but it's like it's like those old Warner Brothers cartoons. It's like if you delete it, you act like those parts of history. Here's the thing, though, that you're forgetting. Yes, it's an issue if you're a celebrity. But if there's anything that the years 2012 to 2020 have taught us, it actually doesn't matter.
It doesn't,
if you're running
especially
for politics,
if you're a white man.
If you're running in politics, you could have said or done. I mean, obviously there's Trump, but look at stuff like Trudeau and like some of those. Like
he dressed up as Aladdin.
Oh, it wasn't even like he had like Middle Eastern night or something. like that.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't just dressing up as Aladdin. He was like being like he was like that scene in The Master of Disguise.
Oh,
where
God.
he's Prince Lolly Jama from the Ringy Dingy Heights, and Dana Carvey brings out his Indian accent, and that's what he was doing.
Yeah,
because Aladdin kind of just looks like I mean his shade's a little brown, but like let's not pretend like Aladdin is like an accurate portrayal of like Arabian or Middle Eastern. Like Justin Trudeau, he was diving in head first.
It's true. Because I'm a white guy, I do. But I'm still going to hire somebody to listen to every single one of these for like 5 weeks. That's all they're going to do.
It's weird because if you're an amateur podcaster, your entire career will be ended for something you may have said when you were 14.
Yeah.
If you're like a president or a governor, then you could have like you could have sent somebody to their death and it doesn't matter. You could have done anything. What's the distinction there?
I'm trying to make a joke.
There isn't one.
There isn't one.
There isn't one. People hold the power of celebrity status, which makes sense. The people should determine your celebrity status.
Yeah. I'm not gonna bother.
But the people have very little control when it comes to like the one guy. What was that guy from Canada? The big, sweaty Chris Farley-looking dude who was smoking crack rocks.
Oh yeah,
and, like running around. He wasn't. I mean, he's not there anymore, but he was still there for a while. For a while after that.
I forgot about that.
What was his name? There were some crazy videos of him. And it's video too, so it's like this isn't like
so it's like it cannot be misconstrued.
It's not like you did, and it's like I mean I don't want to get political. Not that anything you say and do can't have inherent politics in it, but
I mean everything you.
No, that's what I'm saying. It does. But I mean Trump will do stuff every day that if he was not like if he wasn't the guy he was.
I died.
I don't even know how to articulate this. If Trump was a TikTok star, they'd have his account deleted.
Yes.
That's the best way to put it.
But since he runs the country, he's... Yeah.
Very strange.
I'm going to try a different level area.
Yeah, I kind of want to play Bomberman 64 someday. I think it's a 3D platformer. It's not like a Bomberman game.
Yeah.
But
I think we've like played around with it before at some point.
I've never touched it.
I've played around with it, but I've never actually played it.
I think there's a couple Bomberman games on Nintendo 64, and I think I've played the one that is like a more traditional Bomberman experience.
Yeah, I played that one. I wonder... Oh!
So this is a hot button issue. Speaking of canceling, everyone's the latest cancel is none other than Joe Rogan.
Oh, he's getting canceled.
No, he's not, because you can't cancel Joe Rogan.
I was
but they're saying because he had a podcast where he said some stupid stuff about like how if you wear a mask you're like a little girl or something. Which it's like, oh my god, if you're getting I listen to Joe Rogan, I like it, but he's really stupid.
Oh, he's an idiot.
I
love Fear Factor.
He's a really good He's a really good interviewer. He's really good at bringing people in a room and having them share like personal stories, make people comfortable. But like, and I think he would agree. Don't listen to what he says and like take it for law. If Joe Rogan says you look stupid for wearing a mask, you shouldn't be like, well, I'm not gonna do it because Joe said it.
Yeah. Unfortunately, some people do.
No, I know. And
Which
even
is
in
funny.
I listened to the same podcast with Bill Burr, and Bill Burr calls him out. He's like, listen, you don't have a medical degree. You're sitting here in your private room with your cigars. I'm not gonna listen to what you say.
Yeah.
I don't even like Bill Burr that much, but yeah, people aren't. I guess that's the other thing is people aren't authorities. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that, but you shouldn't listen to your favorite episode of the Game Detectives and go, "Wow, David said this. I'm gonna adopt that now." Like, don't determine your values, ethics, and morals based off people on the internet you've never met.
So I love the thing too where people are like, well, that one doctor from Stanford said I don't need to wear a mask or whatever. It's like people will take the individual idea or individual person and then just if they find one person that one scientist that says climate change isn't real, that's the only one they'll listen to.
Is it that hard?
But it's like you're supposed to just listen to like the overall majority of people,
or form your own opinion, even if it's the non-majority opinion. Like, at least be like, well, I have a grandmother that I see. Maybe I should think about her. Like, I don't understand why people want so desperately to not wear masks. It turned into a very political, like, don't tread on me, states' right. Okay, this is another thing. I'm about to get some hot takes here. I think if you are saying, the second you say states' rights, I turn off.
Oh yeah, me too.
I'm out.
I
out.
have no.
If you say state rights, you're about to say something like just racist or mean and it's like I immediately feel like you're gonna follow it up with like the facts don't care about your feelings or something like that. I'm shutting out because there's no. What is states' rights? What does that mean?
I see. So the crazy thing to me is, especially as now that the world's becoming so globalized, it's like individual states and what they want are becoming. It's unfortunate in some sense of the word, and if you like really think local control is important, but like at this point in time, with people being able to move much easier or communicate much easier across state boundaries, it doesn't make much sense to like have that strict idea of federalism anymore.
No, and there's some like value to stuff like, you know, support like your county sheriffs and like the people in your community matter for determining stuff, but like states' rights has become this very blanket statement that people won't challenge because people, oh, what's that?
What is that?
It's probably from Bomberman, but I really like it. People won't challenge it. People say, oh, don't give it to anything, do they? They'll say, oh, the Confederate flag, it's about state rights, and it's like. They'll tack it. You say Bottles was here. Oh, so I think
killing all of them.
What they're saying is they're having all the bosses, and the joke is that Bottles defeated the bosses. I wonder if we had gone into the submarine, if there had been something there with King K. Rool too. That's such a cute and creative little theme. I love it.
And it helps too because then they don't have to worry about programming a boss into this.
They shouldn't have to. Yeah, this would be impossible. I wouldn't expect that.
Oh, the shark.
Oh, what's his name? Nipper.
A little bit nippy. Oh! I should have seen that coming.
Yeah.
Should have seen that coming.
Cancel culture, bad. States' rights, bad.
Well, see, the problem I have with it is that, well, states' rights is just stupid, because like you said, it's just it's a way to say, like, I'm not racist, even though that's...
It doesn't always have to do with racism, but for some reason it always... Like, I want to give it the benefit of the doubt, but whenever I have a conversation, it's like, well, states have the rights to not do this and that, and it always comes back to, oh, well, that's like a historically racist thing, and you're just trying to excuse it.
Or like...
Oh, I love those guys, too.
I gotta fly through them, I bet.
You have about feathers, you gotta find the fly pail.
Ooh, I can't. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, the classic is, like, the Civil War was about states' rights, but not... Ooh. Well, obviously it's not. But
I love that Simpsons episode where Apu has to take his nationality test, and they're like, "What was the Civil War about?" And he's like, "Well, actually, there's a lot of complex issues." And he starts going on, and the guy's like, "Just say slavery."
It's true. But it's just like when it comes to the cancel culture thing, I don't. There's a difference between being like they're canceled and then like actually holding people accountable.
It's very childish.
Yeah, it's very because to me it's like if you are actually interested in wanting to make things better, you have to hold people accountable, and like if somebody does something bad, they have to like do something to atone for it, or like they not atone, but what I'm trying to say is like basically calling them out online and then having a bunch of people agree with you doesn't actually really do all that much besides maybe gain attention.
And even in the like, if you want to say like, because not necessarily every statement and action needs like a reaction or a fix.
Yeah.
But in the context of like canceling somebody, it's really easy to cancel somebody, and it there's a jiggy.
Ooh.
It feels like an excuse to just say, "Oh, we're not going to think about or talk about it," and it seems like a very easy way to not think more complexly about whatever's being said.
Yeah.
Whether or not they're right or wrong, you should be thinking about why you feel the way you feel, and like why what has been said or happened angers you and what it means, versus just like it didn't happen or we're done with this. It feels like you're putting your hands on your ears and going la 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 la.
Oh shoot. It's just like it just doesn't.
Can you run on water still?
Oh yeah, probably.
You can't do that when you have it.
Yeah.
If you do Z and something else, though, you should be able to cancel. Maybe that was just a Banjo-Kazooie feature.
Yeah, it just feels very childish to me. Because it doesn't. You're not really thinking about, well, what is the problem? Like, say somebody does something that's like pretty like roundly
Say
considered.
J.K. Rowling has outdated or questionable in a modern context views on gender identity.
Yeah. And so like to me it's like it's not. I mean, obviously what she said was bad, and I don't agree with it. But then to say like, well, she's canceled again, that doesn't really make anybody reflect on, well, why is she saying what's the historical context of what she's saying? Why was she? Because like, oh shoot. I'm not saying she's right. I'm saying that you also should understand why people are saying what they're saying, because then that gives you a better idea of how to talk about those kinds of things.
Yeah, I mean, it should be thinking about, like, okay, what is this divide between second and third wave feminism, and, like, what is... It's not just that, it's also a generational divide. Like, you should be thinking about those kind of things.
Not to excuse it, but to be, like, to understand what is actually going on, rather than just being like, well, what she said was wrong, so therefore she's stupid and she's done. Mm-hmm. You can say, well, what she said was wrong, and here's why, and here's how it happens.
I will be fair, though. She's been bothering me for a long time, so I feel like I was
she's been
ahead of the game.
Well, she's been doing some questionable stuff for a very long time.
I don't even know about questionable. She's just been, like... I don't know. Part of it also feels like she kind of makes these controversial statements because she's sort of not as in the public eye.
Ooh, that's not good.
She's been doing stuff like that for a while, and you can see that the statements she's been making have been getting like more and more. Like at first, it starts out and it's like, oh, Dumbledore was actually gay, and some people get a stir about that, and then it's like, oh, Hermione might have actually been black, and it's like, okay, and then it's, oh, the Harry Potter kids just poop on the ground or whatever. That
was funny.
It escalates in a way. Though. You know, you see what I'm saying?
Oh, I know what you mean. Well, which is unfortunate because I mean, partly why politics is so messed up too, is unfortunately the people who speak the loudest and say the most crazy things get all the attention. Mm-hmm. Which again, then it's like, well, if we call out J.K. Rowling for all this stuff, that's good. But then what about all the people that are actually passing legislation to like, you know, like people didn't like Tennessee just passed a ban on abortions that's going to get challenged in court and found illegal. But like more people know about J.K. Rowling.
Well, there's a whole thing going. They got a whole thing going on with that right now.
So one of the things that I have a problem with it too. Then is like, what part of the being outraged by this stuff is understandable, but then what isn't being paid attention to is also really dangerous too.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree as much on that. That's kind of like a hard I mean, it's true. I won't deny it's true, but that's kind of like a hard point to fight, to be like, why are we talking about X when we should be talking about Y?
True.
And
I
it's
didn't
like,
think about it that
it's
way.
like, well, there's a reason. I mean, like, this is the thing that's bothering people the most right now, and that's why we're talking about X.
That's true.
And it's like, it's a different sphere, I guess. You also have to keep in mind that, like, the news that you and I listen to and the people that you and I talk to are not reflective
of the general population.
They're not reflective of our county, of our state,
Yeah.
of our country. So it's like we're in a little bit of a bubble. Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Oh, I thought there was something back there. I don't know. There's no one right answer, obviously, but
No, and I don't want to give the impression that we're like the intellectuals and other people. If any, we're kind of in our own little hug box, is what they
What's
call
a
it.
hug box?
It's what like Ben Shapiro types call like when you when you
Oh,
have
like
friends that are like nice to each other.
Oh, like they're like safe spaces.
Yeah,
and
it's
hug
like
boxes
that. It's
and-
like that.
Why are people so like vehement against like being nice? Like,
I guess one part is like being nice isn't funny. That's
true. That doesn't.
But
get
here's the thing.
clicks.
Here's the thing. I think it can be funny. I think people just aren't trying hard enough.
Oh yeah.
Like Flanders is nice and he's really funny.
Yeah.
I think it's easier to be funny if it's like
Mean spirited.
mean spirited, and I think that's you got to challenge. Oh,
Ooh.
secret Nintendo room.
I saw this little divot before.
Oh, so this is like a Bomberman.
Ooh.
Okay. Bomberman is really hard too. Oh, and I hate these smoky guys.
Yeah, you gotta do the. Oh. This works a little better than the 2D Mario. Oh shoot.
Yeah.
Than the 2D Mario levels, because this is.
The movement works well, and I think there were over-the-head segments in Banjo-Kazooie, if I'm not mistaken, or at least there was stuff that was
There's
close.
something that was like it, yeah.
So it's some, yeah, there definitely was, because there's the maze,
Yeah.
and there was that section in Mad Monster Mansion where you're like sitting on top of a shot glass or whatever that was.
Yep.
The long and short of it is, the coronavirus experience has taught me one thing: I do not want to live in Wisconsin anymore.
Yeah, it's a mess. That's a nice way to put it.
It's weird being here. You weren't in Milwaukee for any of it.
No,
because
for the protests. No,
Milwaukee. No, I'm not talking about even the protests. I'm talking about just like here. From the second I came back here, nobody. I mean, sometimes you see it, but I'd say at least maybe 60